Meeting shall commence. Good evening, everyone. Town of Monroe Planning and Zoning Commission. May 5th, 2020. It is 7 p.m. Bruno has arrived. We will begin the meeting. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. As you all know, this is a Zoom meeting. This meeting will be recorded, made available on the town's website pursuant to state law. Written public comment in compliance with the guidelines for public participation in remote electronic meetings may be submitted up to the close of the business day of the meeting by electronic mail. All right, I'm going to call the roll, starting on my right.
Dominic Smargalino, alternate.
Ryan Condon, Commissioner.
Ian Brody, Commissioner.
Bruno Maini, Vice Chairman.
Robert Westland, Commissioner.
Rick Schultz, Town Planner.
Sarah Stroud, Recording Secretary.
Thank you. Okay, this is general public participation. Are there any members of the public online tonight that would like to bring anything to the attention of the commission? If so, please raise your hands. Anyone online like to bring anything to the attention of the commission? Raise your hands. Seeing none, we'll move along. There are no public hearings tonight, no subdivision reviews. There is no determinations or deliberations. The new application is the final draft of the affordable housing plan. We are to schedule a public hearing for that tonight, correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman. May 19th.
May 19th. We have to talk about it any further?
Well, Mr. Chairman, and you can elaborate, we had a subcommittee on it. And essentially, this is another state mandated planning document like our POCD. This one has to be done every 5 years, POCD, as you know, every 10 years. Essentially, what this plan says is that the town of Monroe is committed. And as you know, this commission is committed. You stated in your 2021 POCD, you've enacted text amendments, new zoning regulations that fulfill the affordable housing requirements. We did it for the mixed use and more recently with the MDD, the Main Street Design and the special development. So because of that, we have 3 parcels already earmarked. If you go to the maps on page 12, yeah. Well, actually, page
11
Page
and 10
page 9.
and 9.
Page 8 is the overall zoning map that shows the overlay zone that you've adopted. That is the zoning tool that you want to use. That zoning tool gives you the latitude because there's zone changes instead of doing the 8-30G. Now, the next 4 maps show the parcels that we're recommending as a guide. We're not saying it's going to happen because it's up to the commission. On page 9, these 3 parcels are projects that have either been approved or in the process of being approved. The first pink shaded is the mixed use on the Trumbull Town Line. The next one is
Rick, that's not the one across isn't there one across the street too on that one?
right, but that we just did a grading plan.
Yeah, no housing.
Oh, there's no housing yet? No.
Now, staff recommended at the subcommittee to move very slowly on this. You could add other parcels. So most towns are not doing wholesale areas. You want to do areas that make sense and that you feel comfortable. So the first 3, you've already had some type of hearing on them. And there's been support for housing, including affordable housing. So these first three have been supported by the commission. The next one is the Stepney Center. The commission has always stated that this area, because of the infrastructure that's in place, we do need more sidewalk system here. But it makes sense because you have older structures that are 2 stories that could accommodate it. And once again, we don't know because the soil conditions have to accommodate this. In the plan, we're recommending another special study of soil conditions to see if all of these areas can accommodate these types of dwelling units that we're anticipating. So this is just a guide because we have to adopt this by June 1st. So I'm showing all of Stepney Village. The next page is 11. This was a site on Elm Street. And the subcommittee listened to the property owner. And the commissioners that were present said this could work if you put in a sidewalk system to connect to 111. Now, we may or may not hear on the 19th, because this is a public hearing. The legals already went out today.
On this deal?
No, yesterday. The legal went out yesterday and goes out again next Wednesday.
Public hearing.
Why
Yes.
would you put it on Elm Street?
Property owner.
We had a property owner that said, I am positioned to do an 8-30G, but I prefer to work with this commission. So the subcommittee member said, okay, it's worthy of consideration and we'll show it on the final draft. As you know, you have 5 commissioners on the 19th to decide if it's going to be yes or no. But it was determined by the subcommittee to at least consider it and show it on the map.
Didn't we approve this for subdivision already?
Yes.
For 4-house subdivision. Yeah.
So the property owner says, I am going to do an 8-30G if the commission is not willing to use the tool that staff has recommended.
Knollwood right behind this?
Like,
No, the restricted residence.
I believe it is, yes.
That'd be right behind it. I can't understand what.
Housing?
Because the house.
It's a 5 acre. You know where the cows are as soon as you come?
I know.
There's livestock there. And it's,
Isn't it great that a geographic location is where the cows are? I love it.
That's the way Monroe is, man. That's
No,
awesome.
it's
I love
that was great. It's,
Ryan, you should feel good because
I do. I learned.
You don't got a home anymore.
I lost all the cows in Shelton in the 80s.
There's still some.
So Lean, you're absolutely right. Look at these locations because you have to decide on the 19th. And remember, this is just a guide. If they do petition,
They still have to come in front of us.
they have to come in front of you. Now, as you know, this does not fall under the main street design district because it has to have direct access to the 3 main highways. You would have to amend the regulations to include this parcel on Elm Street. So you're in the driver's seat. But we need to show the state of Connecticut that the town of Monroe is at least identifying potential sites.
The yellow house.
so we're gonna vote on these maps?
Turn this the other way.
Are you voting on the document?
This.
The map is just a component. It doesn't do anything to our official map, Leon. You have the final say.
Okay.
So that one's in the middle of a residential area, okay? 25 is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, the next map on page 12 is Roosevelt Drive, Route 34. And you have the Dunkin' Donuts, there's a 2-story building. Once again, talking with Joe Chapman, who's more knowledgeable, he thinks that the soils are pretty marginal there to accommodate units, but we're still showing it. And as you know, there are portions.
That's a 2-story building?
Yeah. It's unoccupied on the second floor. And we're not even sure if they have to.
Doesn't seem that tall. It's just.
And the other parcel is the back portion of the Stevenson lumber parcel.
Correct.
Once again, that's more virgin area where the buildings are. That is a brownfield site and you can't have residential.
Okay.
So once again, in this plan, it says further soil testing with the health district has
For the
to.
sake of the septic system you're talking about, or
Yes.
structural? Okay.
So we need to move very slowly on this. We didn't identify a lot of parcels. And most towns are not identifying a lot. Because if you identify a lot, especially in areas that are questionable, you're going to get petitions for it. And then if you say no, they're going to come in with an 8-30G and then take you to court.
I agree.
All right,
So this is an evolution. Most towns in the POCD are saying we support affordable housing in appropriate locations. This was enacted a year or two ago to say, start showing it on a map, locations that do make sense.
all right, so there'll be a public hearing next meeting. All right, moving on. Other business. Number one, we have a request for bond release, SCP 2021-05, file 1630A, 390 North Turnpike. I have a letter from Donna, who had received a request for a $13,000 bond release.
And Mr. Chairman, we have Attorney Christopher Russo that wants to address the commission.
Okay. Go ahead, Attorney Russo.
Chairman, Commissioners, good to be with you tonight on behalf of the applicant. Here for a release of stabilization bond. The site was completed, as you well know, and opened mid-October of last year. So we're requesting release for that. But additionally, on a separate matter, I know we had been before you. It was beginning of December, actually, regarding addressing the traffic issues at the site. And I spoke with my client, and they've said that they felt the traffic has improved greatly, that it's flowing a lot better. I've been by it a few times myself. I also went today at 5 just to see it. I haven't seen issues. When I went today at 5 was one of the times where it's busier there, so there was a line, and I didn't see anybody cheating, because that was, I know when I was before you in December, that was one of the concerns, was people kind of breaking the line and then jumping to the front. I didn't observe it. My client says that they haven't, and that they feel that the drive-through is moving very well. Hopefully you've observed the same thing, but we appreciate the commission's patience and kindly letting the site and the new building and the new setup settle in, which is seen to have done in moving more efficiently now than it was back when it had first opened. So I just wanted to, for the release, but also just because I know we had talked about it back in December, to be here to address the commission on that issue.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Russo. So the chair will entertain a motion to release the bond.
I'll make a motion to release bond SEP 2021-05, file 1630A.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
No, sir.
Did they stripe it?
Yes, sir.
over there? Rick, did they do anything over there with that at all? I didn't get to go by there today.
No, they added the signage.
This bond is for what is this bond for? This is.
It's site.
Stabilization is for the whole.
So they added the signage, this is the entrance.
I've gone by it. I drive by it all the time, and I have been noticing that it looks like it's moving a lot smoother. People aren't.
Keep it going.
They were right. That was it. It was a learning curve.
It's
So.
a major learning curve.
Yeah.
And as the commissioners are aware, there are still peak times when they're queuing right to the entrance. I mean, that happens. I mean, they comply with the queuing requirements of our town, but it's just like any drive-through, the amount of patrons are using it. It's, Chris, what is it, 80, 90% now?
Yes, I think it's the same. I mean, definitely during COVID, it was, it peaked, obviously when people weren't allowed to go in the restaurant, but then after that, it has still been high. And there's such a demand for, these fast food. I mean, if you drive by the Starbuckses, I mean, the one in Trumbull that's on White Plains Road, the one that's down at Steel Point, the one that's on Post Road in Fairfield. I mean, they're slammed. I went by the Chick-fil-A that's in Wallingford, and it's unbelievable the demand there is for their fast food. So I mean, it's it's a multi-billion-dollar company, not because it's a ghost town. I mean, it is popular, but luckily at this site, it seems like the issues that had plagued it before it was a double drive-through. That at least it's been eased and it's moving smoother in just trying to address the tremendous demand that there is for these fast food restaurants.
Okay, we'll call the roll, starting on my right.
Condon, yes?
Rosie, yes.
O'Reilly, yes.
Mayne, yes.
Westland, yes.
Okay, the bond has been released.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right, moving along, we have no meeting minutes. There are no planning and zoning matters, I don't think.
No, not at this, for this meeting, Mr. Chairman.
Correspondence, I have no report. Any of the commissioners have anything?
Are we gonna start looking at curb sales? Is that discussed?
We're going to be taking that up at the next meeting.
Okay,
But it'll be okay for the Father's Day.
all right.
All right,
And then what, I got something.
right.
Uh-oh.
No, on Pepper Street.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I spoke to the chief today,
Yep.
and he's going to be re-examining that. I was talking to Commissioner Leon, and we got to deal with the truck traffic. Because,
Yeah, where the bike trail is and the walking trails. The trucks are all going down that way. The 18-wheelers going down that way.
and that's problematic.
Instead of going.
Oh, they're taking a left.
right,
They're taking a left out of the
instead
industrial
taking a-
park.
Yeah, and they're coming down through there. And that could turn to be a problem.
That street,
We can, because we can't put a no through truck sign, because I talked to the captain, he told me that it doesn't work. Now, they go there to deliver, they're really not just going through, they're going somewhere. So we have to try to address that somehow.
we have to contact them. Both,
Contact somebody, but I mean, but I'm saying to you is, we just don't want that kind of traffic going down there.
Absolutely.
When they finish that road, it's gonna get a lot
Once the road's
quicker.
finished, we can make a no left turn sign coming out, right?
well,
Can we do that now?
difficult
No
to
through
do.
traffic, use alternate route.
It is?
No through truck traffic, use alternate route.
Yeah, but they said they can't really enforce that. It says because it's really not no through truck. It's because they're going to a place, a business, so they're really going to an
Don't we
establishment.
have that no left turn, or is that just on the?
We're supposed to have just turn right only, right?
But we're looking at other options, so,
Either that or, I mean, we just don't want something to happen.
No,
It's gonna get busy over there. I'm telling you, they're gonna pick up,
that trail's too important.
finish that, it's gonna pick up a lot of speed. So we can look into that.
Yeah, we have a no left turn sign, I believe, going in on.
That's what I thought, but,
Can we put a cop there for a little while?
right, that's what I'm saying to you. But
Because Pepper Street is not completed, there will be police. It's when it's done, that's what Leon's concerned.
Constitution, I
The trail users, the bicyclists.
No, it's crazy. I get it, but it's just like, when,
Well, doesn't the bike path crosses Pepper twice, right?
yeah,
so
But one's.
when is that gonna be done? We still have
Yeah,
another
but the
year or
one
so, right?
closest.
End of this year.
is a lot busier.
No, they're
Yeah.
both
Basically got a year.
south of,
yeah, 'cause
Of coming up with a realistic formula.
there.
That's a hard one.
Cross.
You
Cross.
You have a right, I mean,
On the
I
right.
never-
this is federal.
Oh, there is-
Right,
there's one that
but
goes-
it's terrible. It's ugly. There's not even like a crosswalk. It's, the trail does.
There's other options, that's what the chief's looking into.
Like a
All
speed
right.
check.
All right,
Very
Rick,
good.
we just gotta look into that.
Yeah, come up with some options, and
Yeah.
we'll run the options by,
Or even a temporary light.
yeah,
Yeah, that's been done before.
temporary lights, yeah, there's some options, yeah.
all right, Rick, do you have any report?
No, Mr. Chairman?
All right, then we'll, Chairman will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. The meeting is now adjourned.